On June 15, 1991, heavy rain engulfs the city of Madrid. Police cars respond to a distressed call from a girl named Veronica, urgently requesting help and repeating, "He's inside. He's inside." As the police arrive at an apartment, they encounter something unnatural behind the door, leaving them in complete shock. 3 days prior to the incident, Veronica's family leads a simple life. She takes care of her 3 younger siblings, Lucia, Irene, twins, and Antonito, as their mother works long hours to support the family after the recent death of their father. Veronica, missing her father, finds a picture of him in their parents' room and decides to bring it to school. Veronica attends a Catholic school run by nuns. In class, the teacher discusses the phenomenon of a solar eclipse occurring on that day. The teacher shares cultural beliefs that suggest darkness takes over the world during an eclipse, and some ancient cultures use the day for human sacrifices and summoning dark spirits. The school gathers students on the rooftop to witness the rare solar eclipse. However, instead of joining the others, Veronica, her friend Rosa, and their classmate Diana head to the dark and rundown school basement to perform a seance, while the rest of the students eagerly anticipate witnessing the eclipse with negative film strips protecting their eyes. Veronica and her friends, Rosa and Diana, proceed with the seance in the school basement, using an Ouija board. Their goal is to contact a loved one who has passed away. Closing their eyes and touching the glass on the board, they attempt to communicate with spirits. The glass moves, unsettling the 3 friends. They ask for the spirit's name and its desire to communicate. The glass responds by moving rapidly, leaving Rosa and Diana frightened. When they try again, the glass becomes too hot to touch, and Veronica is the only one left in contact with it. As the eclipse occurs, Veronica remains seated, holding the glass until it breaks, causing her finger to bleed. Concerned for Veronica, Rosa and Diana find her lying unconscious. Veronica murmurs words until letting out a demonic scream, blacking out and waking up in the school clinic. The resident doctor questions her but finds no apparent reason for her fainting and advises her to rest. After class, Veronica and her 2 sisters notice the school's headmistress, Sister Death, an elderly blind woman, looking directly at Veronica. Arriving home, Veronica checks her room and observes the Ouija board, now cut in half from their seance. Carefully placing her backpack with the broken board on top of her closet, Veronica hears a noise upon re-entering her room. The bag is on the floor. After putting it back on the closet, the same happens again, marking the beginning of the paranormal experiences Veronica will face. During dinner, Veronica starts shaking and struggles to put food in her mouth. Her younger siblings become scared and express concern for her. Veronica suddenly snaps out of it, still confused, and insists that she is fine. However, she notices claw and bite marks appearing on her body, adding to her growing list of questions. Attempting to seek answers, Veronica tries calling Rosa, but it seems like her friend is avoiding her. While bathing Antonito, Veronica hears a thumping sound from the living room. She instructs Lucia and Irene to behave and keep quiet, but both are already in their rooms. The lights in her room start flickering, and she finds herself locked inside. Antonito screams from the bathroom as the water in the bath turns extremely hot, causing burns. Later that night, while cleaning up, Veronica notices the TV turning on by itself. Angie's reflection is seen from the TV as she turns it off, staring directly at Veronica from behind in the middle of the night. In her room, the closet mirror opens mysteriously, and someone calls her. Veronica sees an entity that resembles her father, causing panic as it drags her back to bed and entangles her. She realizes it was just a nightmare, but the supernatural occurrences seem to intensify around her. Despite the vivid and realistic nature of her experiences, Veronica's friends begin to ignore her. Seeking answers, she ventures back to the basement alone, where Sister Death awaits her. The nun scolds Veronica for attempting to summon someone from the dead, and warns her that her siblings are in danger, urging her to protect them. Attempting to drive away the spirit, Sister Death's efforts prove insufficient. Veronica confronts Rosa about why she's avoiding her, but Rosa denies the reality of what happened in the basement. Back home, Veronica draws protective symbols for her siblings, and while using walkie-talkies, she sees the spirit and rushes to rescue her sisters. The spirit seemingly chokes Lucia, but she wakes up, accusing Veronica of choking her. That night, Veronica dreams that her siblings are devouring her flesh, but it turns out to be just a dream. Upon waking up, she experiences her first period, marking her transition to womanhood. While cleaning, she discovers burn marks on her bed, and upon checking her siblings' mattresses, she finds similar burn marks in the shape of a human body. To seek advice, Veronica turns to Sister Death, who reveals that she intentionally blinded herself to stop visions of evil spirits. Although blind, she can still sense dark entities. Sister Death emphasizes that Veronica must bid farewell to the same spirit to close the door, open during the seance, and prevent it from continuing to haunt her life. Veronica goes to Rosa's house, where a party is in progress, and persuades Rosa to say goodbye to the spirit they summoned. Veronica looks for Diana at the party, hoping to officially finish the seance. However, she is kicked out, and Rosa does nothing to help. Rosa reveals that Veronica whispered to her that she would die in 3 days. Feeling terrified and alone, Veronica walks home with a troubled mind as her vision becomes blurred. At their bar, Veronica desperately asks her mom to stay at home with them for the night. However, her mom explains that she is busy and cannot close the bar for a night. Determined, Veronica and her siblings head home, and she decides to continue the seance at their apartment. She involves her younger siblings in the seance, even though they are confused. Antonito draws protective signs, but he makes a mistake by drawing the symbol of invocation, inviting the evil spirit even more. Despite this, they proceed with the seance, touching the glass on the Ouija board and commanding the spirit to say goodbye. The spirit refuses, and the book instructs them to sing a soft song to properly bid farewell. As they sing in unison, they hear thumping noises around the apartment, and the spirit attempts to distract and scare them. The candles go out, the Ouija board tears apart, and the glass moves around the apartment. Fearfully, Veronica follows it and ends up in the bedroom, where the spirit emerges from the mattress and chases her. She calls the police as the spirit snatches her little brother, runs after it, loses consciousness briefly, and eventually finds Antonito in the bathroom. Veronica's mother notices police cars passing by the bar, worrying about her children. She leaves the bar in the pouring rain, attempting to get home to them. As Veronica and her siblings reach the exit of their building, she looks at a mirror and realizes she isn't actually holding Antonito. It was all her imagination. Despite having no choice, she comes back up alone to rescue her brother. The spirit strikes her, and Veronica hits her head on a mirror, now holding a piece of broken glass. She finds Antonito hiding in a closet, refusing to come with her. Veronica looks at herself in the mirror and realizes that she's been possessed by the spirit the entire time. Under its control, she has been harming her siblings. In an attempt to end the possession, she tries to slit her own throat, but the evil spirit stops her. Authorities arrive at their apartment, witnessing Veronica being attacked by an invisible force until she passes out. The paramedics rescue her and Antonito, leaving the police observing the family's apartment. A picture of Veronica catches fire out of nowhere, and at that exact moment, an officer calls the detective to inform him that Veronica has died. The story remains a mystery, based on a real-life police report, with the police who witnessed her case certifying its authenticity.